The first thing I smelled that morning wasn't coffee. It was hickory smoke. My smoker had been going since 5 a.m., slow-cooking brisket until it was tender enough to melt on your tongue. Saturdays were our busiest days at the backyard pit, my small BBQ joint tucked behind my house. Customers loved the setup. Good food, picnic tables, and the scent of barbecue that could lure you from half a mile away. By noon, the line snaked down the block. Kids chased each other between tables, music drifted from the speakers, and the cash register chimed like a metronome. It felt like a scene from a small-town movie. Then the sirens came. 2 squad cars pulled up, lights flashing. Conversations stopped mid-sentence. A police officer stepped out, hand resting on his belt. "Are you the owner?" he asked. "I am," I said, wiping my hands on my apron. He glanced around. "We've had a complaint from your homeowners association. They say this business violates community regulations." I stared at him. "Regulations? I've been here 3 years." No one said a word. "They want you to shut down, today." A hush fell over the crowd. My regulars whispered, shaking their heads. The officer's tone wasn't aggressive, but the weight behind his words was undeniable. I looked past him and saw them. 3 members of the HOA board standing on the sidewalk, arms folded. The president, a man named Frank, had the smug look of someone who'd already planned their victory speech. "You're disrupting the neighborhood," Frank called out. "This isn't zoned for a restaurant." "It's a private home business," I shot back. "Fully permitted by the city." Frank smirked. "Not by us. The police didn't arrest me, but they made it clear the HOA was serious." Customers trickled away, unsure if they'd be caught in the crossfire. By 1 p.m., the tables were empty, smoke still curling from the pit, like a stubborn reminder of what they'd tried to snuff out. That night, I found a letter taped to my front door. It wasn't just a warning, it was a threat. Cease operations immediately or face fines. Up to $500 per day. Something in me snapped. This wasn't just about barbecue anymore. This was about the principle. I opened my laptop and typed, "How to sue your HOA." The battle had begun. The following week, my smoker stayed cold, but my determination burned hotter than ever. I wasn't about to let a handful of overzealous neighbors bully me out of my own livelihood. I started gathering evidence. Every city permit, every inspection report, every cheerful review from customers who loved our backyard BBQ. Then I dug deeper. HOA meeting minutes, property maps, even old newsletters. That's when I found it. A clause buried in their own rules stating that non-disruptive home businesses were permitted as long as they met city regulations. They just handed me my weapon. With an attorney by my side, a sharp, no-nonsense woman named Marcy, we filed suit. The claim? Harassment, interference with business, and breach of their own bylaws. The HOA didn't take it seriously at first. They sent me another letter, doubling down on the threats. But once they were served papers, their tone changed. Court day arrived on a rainy Thursday. The small-town courthouse smelled faintly of damp wood and old paper. Frank and the board members sat across the aisle, their confidence now cracked. Marcy rose first. "Your Honor, my client followed every city regulation. The HOA, however, acted beyond its authority, using intimidation to shut down a lawful business." She laid out the evidence piece by piece. The permits, the satisfied inspection reports, the bylaw clause. Then she played a recording I'd made the day the cops came, Frank's voice cutting through like a sour note. "Not by us." Frank fumbled through his defense, claiming noise, parking issues, even unpleasant smells. The judge raised an eyebrow. The smell of barbecue. By the time closing arguments ended, the courtroom was tense. The judge took a short recess. I sat there, palms damp, replaying the last month over and over. When he returned, his decision was swift. The HOA had overstepped. They were ordered to pay damages for lost income and legal fees, and, most satisfying of all, they were barred from interfering with the backyard pit again. Outside, rain slicked the courthouse steps. Reporters from the local paper asked for a quote. I kept it simple. Barbecue's back on. The next Saturday, my smoker roared to life. People came in droves, neighbors, customers, even strangers who'd read about the case. Someone brought a sign that read, "Free the brisket." Frank didn't show his face, but I didn't need him to. As the line stretched down the block again, I realized something. This wasn't just a win for me. It was a message. When you stand up to bullies, no matter how official their title, you can take back what's yours. The smoke drifted upward, carrying with it the sweet, slow-cooked scent of victory. Enjoying this wild ride of how I stood up to the HOA and won? Hit that subscribe button for more. Real-life victories and behind-the-scenes. Stories from the backyard pit. Smash that. Like if you believe good barbecue should never be shut down. And drop a comment below. Have you ever taken on an HOA or fought for something you love? I'd love to hear your story.